Hey guys, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, today we're going to be talking about the CJRB Scoria. Now, this comes to me from my good friend Peter, a therapeutic edge. Thank you so much, my friend. Greatly appreciate the loan. There's been a lot of knife loaning going on recently, guys, and it's just absolutely wonderful to be able to do that with people. But thank you very much, Peter. Now, when I first opened the Scoria and got it in hand, I immediately thought Feldspar. And pretty much anybody that I've shown the knife to has immediately thought Feldspar. And there's a reason for that. They look a lot alike. There's some slight differences, and we'll take a look at those for sure. But let's just start out by looking at the Scoria because that's what we're here for. Now, as you can see, black G10. I like it, kind of a sleek black. I like that. You do have a right or left hand tip up carry pocket clip. Pocket clip is titanium. Very nice. I like the look of that pocket clip. It looks really good. You do have a lanyard hole for sure. Very open construction on it. Very cool. I don't mind that at all. Now, you'll obviously see one major difference right there between the two. The Scoria does have a flipper tab and thumb studs, where the Feldspar is just thumb studs. So definitely something, a difference there. Now, our centering, I know it's hard to see black on black, but as you can see there, it's pretty darn good. Now, your flipper tab doesn't have any jimping, doesn't really need any. Could it? Sure. Doesn't? Nah, not really. Not really. Overall, the action. Now, for me, it's a little sluggish on the flipper tab, but those thumb studs pop right out. It's close. The flipper tab is really close. I mean, if you try hard enough, you can fail it. But that thumb stud, really good, jumps right out there, and I like that. Now, PVD coated, AR, RPM 9 blade. There's your info. Serial number 1920, J1920, made in China. Yep, artisan. RPM 9 steel. The overall profile, I mean, I like the Feldspar, so I like the Scoria. I don't have a Feldspar. I never added one to my collection. Good knife. I just didn't feel like I needed to buy one. I can't buy them all. I just can't. But very generous finger choil, forward finger choil. Yes, indeed, I have quite a bit of room left over. I always do kind of end up playing, the trigger game with the flipper tab to help stay back, because I do on several knives, so it's just kind of automatic for me. But I do have quite a bit of room left over for that forward finger choil. All right, nested liners, yeah, and you got some milling going on there. There we go. This is where I wanted to show it to you. Got some milling going on, nested. They look really good. Weight reduction is good. Definitely got it going on there. All right, so let's talk specs. Now, overall, we're looking at right about 8 inches. You got about a 4.5-inch handle and about a 3.5-inch blade. Your grip length is going to be right about 3 3/4. So overall, it's about 8 inches. The Feldspar was 8 1/4 officially, and then blade and handle are pretty close. So right there, it's pretty much Feldsparish. There's your comparison. The PM2, pretty close. Oh, let's get it a little bit lined up there with the pivot. It's really close. PM2's got it maybe by just a tad on the handle, and blades are pretty darn close. I don't think I said cutting edge. The cutting edge is right at 3 inches, maybe just a hair over. And then, of course, there's your bug out. Definitely bigger than the bug out. And let's just throw another CJRB out there. One of my favorites, the Centros. And this one's pretty close. Centros has got it by just a little bit on the blade. Little bit. And, again, a little bit on the handle. But, of course, I like showing off this Centros because BJ Hill did an absolutely phenomenal job on this knife. The acid wash and acid etch and stone wash and the anodizing, and just did a fantastic job on that knife. So let's get a weight on it. Now this is where I was a little off. I called it the Feldspar Light, and it's not. They're pretty much right about the same weight. Officially, they have 3.67 as the Feldspar, and when I weigh this one, I get 3.6. What do they have officially for the Scoria? Do we have a weight? 3.53 is what they call it. I'm coming up with 3.6. So, I mean, it's right there. I mean, well, there you go. It's kind of like the Spyderco lightweights, right? They cut off, you know, 1/10 of an ounce, and it's a lightweight, or 2/10. Okay. So I guess it could qualify if you're going by that criteria. Now back to the pocket clip. As you can see there, it's got kind of it does have a ramp, but I had a little issue in and out of pocket. Not too bad. I mean, you can see that it scrunches up there on the hank. You do have just a little bit less than a 1/2 inch sticking out there. Good retention in the pocket. Out of the pocket, not too bad, but I did kind of have a pop getting it into my pocket. Had to do a little lifty to kind of help it in and out. Now the big difference, this is where the big difference comes in with the Feldspar. Feldspar, you're looking at 0.55, so just over a 1/2 inch. I measured this one out at 0.411. So you're looking at a 20-ish% decrease in thickness from the Feldspar, and that is what I like. It is a lot slimmer. I like the way the Scoria feels in my hand better than I did the Feldspar. Nothing wrong with the Feldspar. I just like this a lot better. Feels better in my hand. We're into our overall now, guys. So no issues on the ergos. Like I said, choke up on that finger choil feels good. Natural grip feels good. If you want to get crazy and do the reverse grip, it's okay. I mean, I don't ever hold a knife like that, so I really don't even judge a grip. But, got some oil. Let's wipe that off. Let's make it pretty. There we go. The width reduction, thickness reduction is what I'm liking. I am liking that a lot. Definitely. I mean, of course, they switched up the blade steel. This one's RPM 9. So I haven't had an issue with that steel yet. I know some people said they thought it was a little soft. I haven't had any issues. I'm not the world's greatest steel expert or sharpener either. So there you go. Take it with a grain of salt, guys. But I haven't really had an issue. The one thing I did want to talk about, everything is done really well. Everything is chamfered well. It feels really good. You got good access to your lock bar. I mean, to your liner lock. You know, the action is good. It's running on ceramic bearings. Like I said, the detamp might be a little light for the flipper tab. That was me. That wasn't the knife. That was kind of sad, actually. But overall, it's a really, really, really nice knife. And I am digging it because of that width reduction, the thickness reduction. The one thing I did want to point out, guys, on the pocket clip, got a 2-screw clip. I've got an open knife here, so I have to be very careful. If you want to swap the clip, unless you have a very thin head on, this is a Weehaw bit, you're going to have to take the knife apart. Unless you have a thin head Torx bit for your driver. If you don't, you're going to have to take the knife apart to swap the clip. Some people that's not an issue for. Some people it is. And that's why I wanted to point that out. You need to have a thin Torx head bit, or else you will have to take the knife apart to flop the clip. Now, percentage-wise, yes, I understand. Most people are right-handed, and it's going to come right-handed. So not very many people, not as many people are going to have that issue. But those of you that really want the Scoria, don't care that it's a liner lock, you know, but happen to be left-handed, just keep that in mind. You're probably going to have to take the knife apart to swap the clip. Just something I wanted to point out. Other than that, guys, yeah, I dig this Scoria. I dig it. Now, it's not available in most of your retailers. It is available on the Artisan website. I believe on the Artisan website, they're selling right now for $106.66. So if you really want one, and they got the really nice double coral. That's a pretty nice. I love that color. I just looked that like White Mountain Knives still has it listed as out of stock, which means they don't have any. And once they do get there, they're going to be selling for about $80. So just throw that out there as well. Overall, guys, we're going to give it, Blues Review Crew is going to give it an 8. I think that's very fair. It might have been an 8.5, but the fact that you have to take the knife apart to swap that clip, okay. Is it going to be a big deal for most people? No, it's not. But our left-handed friends, it may be an issue for. Those left-handed friends that have no problem taking a knife apart, nope, not going to be an issue. Lefties that aren't as comfortable, maybe new to the knife game, and just aren't comfortable taking their knives apart yet, okay, that could be an issue. Just something that I felt needed to be pointed out. Overall, though, yeah, I'm digging the Scoria. And if you asked me Scoria or Feldspar, Scoria all day long, no question. For me, no question at all. But so there you go, guys. The CJRB Scoria coming soon to your retailers. Thanks again, Peter. I greatly appreciate the loan. I think this is going to our good friend Casey next. So he's going to be checking it out. And, he's going to give you his thoughts on it. I highly encourage you to listen, hear what he has to say. Go back and listen to Peter's review on what Peter had to say. Because, guys, if you're looking at a knife, that's what you need to do. Get a bunch of different opinions. So, as always, guys, it's been a pleasure. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. I love talking to you. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later, guys. Bye-bye.